Hi mathematicians. Today I wanted to share a math activity that could be done for our younger mathematicians. The activity that I'm going to share with you is going to be called bigger than or smaller than. You could also use more mathematical language, call it greater than or less than. The way that you're going to do this activity is with a deck of cards. It's not going to be a full deck of cards. You're going to remove the face cards from the deck. You can leave the ace because it represents 1 and it has that great visual representation of 1 as well. The way that you're going to do this activity with your preschool or kindergarten learners is you are going to have all the cards together face down. They're going to draw one card, and this is going to be our guide card. Now, if you have other tools like a number line that you want to use, you can add that in for a little bit more visual support, but you really don't need it because the card itself provides the visual support. So for example, if I am a mathematician of about first grade level, I can easily recognize and relate the quantity, the amount of diamonds, with the numeral, the 7 itself. So this is going to be my guide number. All the rest of the cards are either going to be greater than this number or less than this number. So I'm going to place that face up. I'm now going to draw another card from the pile. Now my job is either to look at the quantity, the number of objects on the card, or the number of objects on the card along with the numeral to decide whether it is greater than or less than 7. Again, if you want to add the reminder of the language, greater than means more, less than means less. So a mathematician can look at this and count the objects if that's where they are mathematically. So they're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. If they're at the stage where they recognize the numeral, they'll recognize the numeral. Most likely, mathematicians at this stage are subitizing, so they're recognizing, hopefully, that this is the quantity 4 without even counting it. They might even be recognizing the quantity 4 as 2 and 2. We'll get into that conversation another time. So now their job is to decide, is this more or less than the 7 that I have? So again, older mathematicians may be able to recognize that 4 is less than 7. Again, if you have a number line, you're going to have to put something on the 7 to represent where they are. They would then look to see the 4 is before that 7, which means it is a smaller numeral. The other way that they could look at it is by taking that guide number 7 and looking at the amount 4 next to it, you can visually see that it's less. So they're going to put the 4 to the left of the 7. Draw another card. The next card that I draw is a 3. Again, there's the visual of the object on the card. There's the numeral as well. So I have 3 here. 3 is less than 7. I'm going to put it to the left-hand side. I drew a 6. Again, some mathematicians might be able to recognize this. Some might recognize it by the numeral. Some might have to count the objects. It doesn't matter. All of it is fantastic math learning. Other mathematicians who might be a little older, a first grade, a second grade mathematician, there's no reason why they can't do this activity as well, and here's why. They can start looking at the way 6 is made. So I might look at 6 as 3 and 3, and right there I'm practicing addition facts. I'm also learning how to compose and decompose the quantity 6. All fantastic math work. Another mathematician might see this 6 as 4 and then 2. Again, all absolutely fantastic math work. I'm going to put the 6 to the left because it's less than my 7. Here's 5. I'm going to put that to the left. It's less than my 7. Here is 6 again. I'm going to put that to the left. It's less than my 7. Next up, I draw a 7. Now, some mathematicians might look and recognize the numeral as the same as the 7. They can put it right on the 7. Some might not recognize that. They might have to count the quantity. Once they hear 7, they might think to themselves, wait, that's exactly the same. So if you draw a card that's exactly the same amount, you're going to put it on top of your amount. I've drawn a 5. I'm going to put it to the left because it is less. All right, finally, I draw a 10. Again, a lot of different mathematicians can work on a lot of different things here. I can visually see that that 10 is more than the 7. If I'm a little bit older of a mathematician, I might recognize that 10 is further down the number line than 7, which means it's greater than 7. I could count the objects on here and recognize that 10 is more than or greater than 7. Again, your second grade mathematicians, your end of the year first grade mathematicians still have the opportunity to look at 10 and see how it's represented. You can see what it's represented with on the side. So I might think about 10 as 4, 4, and 2. I might think of 10 as 4, 4, 1, and 1. All great math work as it relates to numbers. Once they're finished, put the cards back together, shuffle them up, and play again. Happy mathing!